Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to the channel. My name is Elaborate, and today we are talking about Mr. Dee Snider, the mouth himself, from Twisted Sister, Widowmaker, his own thriving solo career, and of course, his terribly named House of Hair. Referring to hard rock heavy metal from the 80s as hair metal, I absolutely despise that name. It's just good heavy metal, hard rock and roll. Some used Aquanet, some did not, but don't let that stop you. Let's judge music on the image and not the tune, shall we? Anyway, that's a talk for another video. No, we're here to talk about Mr. Dee Snider and the fact that I posted something on Twitter today. Or X. I'll honor Elon Musk with that. Elon Musk. I posted something on X today, and X is not my favorite. It tends to be a cesspool, but I do like the fact that you can pretty much speak pretty open on X. So shout out to Jamie Dlux. This video is happening because of him, because Jamie got his channel back. Jamie's channel was nuked from YouTube a while back, a good while back, and he came back with Dlux Nation 2.0, kind of trying to keep it on there, but after some fighting and everything, he got his old channel back. And what he's doing right now is he's doing premieres of old videos. And today he did one of the videos that kind of got me into him, Rock and Roll Vax Holes. The initial one was actually Assaulting Adler. And I was like, you know what? I hadn't watched that video. I remember the first time I watched it getting really kind of irritated with it, but nevertheless, you know. Rock and Roll Vax Holes. So you got Dee Snider there, Ricky Rocket, Sebastian Bach, Tracy Guns, and these are guys who were all about the jab. They love the jab. They love Biden for the jab. They could not say enough things about getting the jab and just, you know, raging against the no, I guess they wouldn't be raging against the machine. I guess they'd be raging for the machine. Yeah, those rock and roll rebels, they were all about doing exactly what they were told to do, and God bless them for it. So anyway, I was watching that, and so I got onto X here, and I asked Dee Snider and Sebastian Bach a question. And my question was, Sebastian Bach and Dee Snider, are you guys still for the vaccine pass? Because they were all about it. They were all about it. Gene Simmons, if you didn't get the jab, he considers you an enemy. He literally said that. But by the way, keep supporting KISS because they need the money. They're really struggling right now. Are you guys still for the vaccine pass? By the way, the expediency, and they praised Biden for the expediency, for getting that vaccine out there. Thank you for saving all the lives that you did. Except the expediency was due to something called Project Warp Speed, which happened a year prior and was because of President Donald J. Trump and not Sleepy Joe Biden. I'm looking forward to the double down because that's what happens. These guys, they have an arrested development of 18 to 20 years old. They can't be wrong. They double down. Ego over learning and wisdom and experience. And I said, by the way, never jabbed, still alive, unlike some, not vax, mRNA slaves. And that was one of the things that they did. They called people who didn't want the jab anti-vaxxers. Though the majority of us, if not the damn near all of us, were actually pro-vaccines, pro-vaccinations. The jab was an mRNA. Even the doctor who created it, invented it, was silenced by the media and by social media. Said, it's not a vaccine. It's an mRNA. Two different things. So anyway, Jamie, it reminded me of it, so I just put the question out there. Well, as you can see, not a lot of engagement. 24 views, at least where I'm at. Not a lot of engagement. But it did bring Dee Snider in. It brought me to the attention of the mouth himself. And Mr. Snider, not being able to argue with that, at least not right now, decided, well, this guy's an idiot. I don't agree with him. Let's check his page and see it if there's something I don't agree with. And by God, he found it. I posted, why is it that nearly, and this was back on the 26th of July, why is it that nearly every Jewish person in the United States votes Democrat? Maybe a bit hyperbolic, but the majority of them do. Yet it is that very party that supports through their political action those that set out to undermine and destroy anything to do with Israel. Hashtag anti-Semitism. Well, Dee retweeted it. That's one little retweet you have right here. And Dee's response was, why are you such a complete uninformed idiot? Ow! Don't bother telling me the answer. I already know. I don't know how he knows. I'm not saying I'm not an idiot. I just don't know how he knows beyond me asking a legitimate question to it. I give support to in the response. If you actually knew or spoke to any Jews, and he doesn't know that I don't, and I actually do. No, I'm not one. You'd know there is a large percentage of them who are pro-Trump. And I have to admit, the Jews that I know are pro-Trump. And actually, the question came to me through them. They were curious why so many of their brothers and sisters, for honestly decades, have voted Democrat. It's actually kind of crazy. Well, I had to come back with this. Try again, moron. I know, not my best take. Jewish votes since the year 2000. You know what the colors mean, right, Dee? Obviously, red team rocks, Republican. Blue team blows, Democrat. I don't say red team rocks, blue team blows because of the political parties, but because my band back in the day, we used to play the hell out of the original Halo, have a LAN system set up in our green room when we weren't playing, and we just killed each other. Red team rocks, blue team blows. You can tell which team I was on. It was not the blue. And I said, look here. Look what you have here. In 2004, the re-election of George Bush, Kerry got 76% of the Jewish vote. Obama got 78, then 69. Dropped a little bit. Little disappointed. Then came right back up with Clinton versus Trump. 71% of the Jewish votes went to Clinton over Trump. And this last time out, 68% of the Jewish vote went to President Sleepy Joe, Pete the pedo, the big man himself, Biden. So I would say I was pretty on the nose there, but Dee, he hasn't responded. And he did the smart thing. He really did the smart thing. He retweeted the initial one so the engagement would be on his page. I don't care to go and see the engagement. I mean, it is his page. People follow him for a reason. You can see that I do not, because I know what I'd be dealing with. But he was smart. However, it did bring other people to my page. And on here, we have Miss Irene Adler. I don't know why I know that name. It stands out for some reason. Trying to stay sane, feminist, tree-hugging liberal. Okay, well, there you go. Says they should vote for the party that wants to instill Christianity as a national religion and punish anybody who chooses to worship otherwise. Now, if you don't know, I am an atheist, and not just an atheist. I am an anti-theist. I think the concept of God is terrifying. Yet, although I didn't vote for President Trump in 2016, I did vote for him in 2020 and will be voting for him again in about 100 days. But I said fear-mongering based on a lie. That's original, because that's what the left and the right tend to do. Fear-mongering. But I will have to say, I've seen a lot of the right be very, very positive. J.D. Vance is cracking me up with the, the childless cat lady. That was pretty damn funny. The holy war is a real bummer. I agree. I think it's sad that anybody's losing their lives, but I also think that the United States should not involve itself in a desert war between people who refer to me as either a goyim or an infidel. So I think we should stay out of it. That's just my take there. I don't support Israel, but I don't support Palestine. And guess what, leftists? It's possible to hold that conviction. Probable spam. What is a probable spam? Democrats want a two-state solution and are opposed to Netanyahu and his bullshit criminal behavior. Not the Jewish people themselves, because like you said, most Jews are Democrats. So calling Democrats anti-Semitic is silly at best, asinine at the least. Okay, Democrats aren't anti-Semitic, but the extreme left, Queers for Palestine communities on university colleges, there doesn't really seem to be any Republicans involved in that. It just seems to be leftist, and leftist, well, they're not conservatives. They tend to be Democrats. I hate the fact they ruined the word liberal. That's how I kind of grew up. I considered myself liberal for a very long time. I still consider myself classic liberal in the sense. I mean, I get called a conservative a lot nowadays, but if you go back 20 years, I'm not a conservative. I'm just a regular liberal. But you know how things go. I mean, Bill Maher is even considered right-wing now. Sometimes. But anyway, my favorite one that I saw was this. Most Jewish folk I know are pro-Israel but anti-Trump. The only reason the GOP is pro-Israel is so they have a place to ship all the Jews if the Christo-fascists take over. Not heard that conspiracy. Not heard that conspiracy. That the only reason we support the Jews, or excuse me, we, I mean that is in the United States, supports Israel is so we have a place to put them off and get rid of them when Christianity takes over. Really? I mean, that's a wild conspiracy. One, I would think with the history of Jews, especially in the last 100 years, that trying to ship Jews anywhere would be a pain in the ass, as the last ride that they took on a train didn't go well. But I'm just an idiot. I don't know what I'm talking about. No, the reason that the United States supports Israel, it's nice to have an ally in the desert. The reason the GOP support them so ardently is not because they're our greatest allies, as, you know, soldiers that were on the Liberty will attest. It is strictly related to biblical prophecy. You may not know this, a quick little history lesson. It'll take all of 20 seconds, which is conservatism didn't used to mean evangelical and family values and all the horse shit that's applied to it now. Conservatism used to mean small government. That's it. Conservative government. Fiscally, monetarily conservative. That's it. Until Ronald Reagan came in the 80s, pushing this back in the late 70s. And it has stuck like a bad fungus. Can't get rid of it. Don't want to get rid of it. President Trump, not really the most ardent Christian when he started. I don't know where he is now. I do know that growing up in the church the way that I did, hence my atheism, I knew Matthew, Mark, Luke, John, Acts onto the Romans, 1st and 2nd Corinthians, not 1 and 2 Corinthians, but that's how Trump quoted the verse. Well, it says in 2 Corinthians. So we know that he was told that, but he was not told how to say it correctly. But Trump has embraced not only the religious bent of the right, but it seems he's also embraced the insanity of the evangelicals, and that is disconcerting to me. I'm hoping that some of this rhetoric will calm down, but I don't think it will. Trump doesn't have to run for a second term. He doesn't have to worry about looking out for himself. I hope he does make it to a second term, not only if he gets elected, but I just hope he makes it to the second term, even if they legitimately beat him or try to steal the election, because I honestly don't think that they're through trying to take him out. And that does scare me. They tried to ruin him financially. They tried to ruin his reputation. They've tried to ruin him in so many ways. And when everything else failed, they just thought they'd kill him. But anyway, I wanted to share that with you. This kind of went all over the place. My apologies for it. If you stuck around this long, thank you so much. Take care. Got my love. Later.